The Great Reversal. Captain Marina Volkov had witnessed 17 pole shifts in her career as a Arctic Research Station commander. But this year felt different. The magnetic reversal wasn't gradual like usual, it was violent, chaotic, sending compass needles spinning wildly and disrupting every electronic device within a 1,000-mile radius. Standing on what had been the North Pole just hours earlier, Marina watched the aurora borealis fade as the magnetic field reconfigured itself. By tomorrow, this frozen wasteland would become the South Pole, and somewhere in Antarctica, researchers were experiencing the opposite transformation. It was humanity's most predictable yet devastating annual phenomenon. The shift had begun in 2019, scientists claimed, triggered by climate change and volcanic activity deep within Earth's core. Every December 21st, the magnetic poles would flip completely, dragging the geographic poles with them through some mechanism that physicists still couldn't fully explain. The result was catastrophic, massive storms, electromagnetic pulses that destroyed technology, and seasonal chaos that made traditional agriculture impossible. But Marina had discovered something that challenged everything the world believed about the shift. Hidden in the abandoned Soviet research bunker beneath her station, she'd found documents dating back to 1962, 57 years before the phenomenon supposedly began. The papers detailed Project Polarity, a joint US-Soviet experiment to weaponize Earth's magnetic field. According to the classified files, both superpowers had secretly installed massive electromagnetic generators at both poles during the Cold War. The plan was to create a controlled magnetic reversal that could disable enemy satellites and communications. But something went wrong during the first test, creating an unstable magnetic loop that wouldn't activate for decades. Marina's hands trembled as she read Dr. Yuri Petrov's final log entry. The resonance pattern is locked. The field will remain dormant until atmospheric CO2 reaches 415 parts per million. Then the annual cycle will begin, and there will be no stopping it. God forgive us for what we've unleashed upon future generations. The atmospheric CO2 level had reached exactly 415 ppm in 2019, the same year the shifts began. Her radio crackled to life. Marina, this is Dr. Sarah Chan at McMurdo Base. Are you receiving? We've made an incredible discovery down here. Marina grabbed the radio. Sarah, how are your communications working? The EMP should have. That's what I'm calling about. Sarah's voice was breathless with excitement. The generators. Marina, we found them buried in the ice. Massive Soviet-era electromagnetic coils, still active after all these years. But here's the thing, they're not causing the shift. Marina felt her blood freeze. What do you mean? I mean they're preventing something much worse. According to the original blueprints we discovered, these generators are creating a controlled reversal to prevent a catastrophic magnetic collapse. Without the annual shift, Earth's magnetic field would have collapsed completely by now. The implications hit Marina like a physical blow. The shift wasn't a weapon that had malfunctioned, it was a desperate measure to save the planet. The founders of the project had somehow predicted that human industrial activity would destabilize Earth's magnetic core, and they'd built a safety mechanism decades in advance. Sarah, there's more, Marina said, scanning the Soviet documents. The generators are powered by geothermal energy, but they're aging. Each year, the shift becomes more violent because the systems are failing. We have maybe 5 years before they can't contain the magnetic collapse anymore. Then we need to tell the world. Sarah replied. Governments have been trying to stop the shift for years, spending billions on failed solutions. They don't realize they'd be destroying the only thing keeping our magnetic field intact. Marina looked out at the desolate polar landscape, knowing that in a few hours, this would become Antarctica and some other research team would be standing where Sarah was now. The annual chaos that killed thousands and disrupted civilization wasn't a curse, it was humanity's salvation, engineered by scientists who wouldn't live to see their sacrifice vindicated. But as she prepared to reveal the truth to the world, Marina discovered one final document that changed everything. A maintenance schedule showing that the generators required manual recalibration every 20 years to prevent cascading failure. The last maintenance had been performed in 2005. They were already on borrowed time, and the next recalibration was due in 3 months, right in the middle of the harshest shift season in recorded history. Marina realized she wasn't just the keeper of humanity's greatest secret, but possibly the only person who could save it. The question wasn't whether to reveal the truth about the pole shift, but whether she could survive long enough to fix what previous generations had built to save them all.